Hello everyone. In this video we are looking at basic building types. There are a number of special building types such as row houses, timber yards and split level buildings, which will have their own videos. Buildings in ASL are either wooden, which are brown, and have a terrain effects modifier +2, like this building in P4, or stone, which are grey and have a terrain effects modifier of +3, such as this building in P5 and Q6. The cost of entry into a building is 2 movement factors for inventory and 1 movement factor to change a level using a staircase. Motorcycles must be pushed to enter a building, but may be mounted and ridden out of a building location. Half trucks, trucks, armoured cars and cavalry cannot enter a building, but may use bypass movement in a building hex. A fully tracked vehicle cost is half its movement point allowance and must take a bog check, adding +3 for a wooden building and +4 for a stone building. If the dice roll is less than or equal to 0 on the coloured die of the bog check, the building hex has been rubbled. A -1 modifier applies to the coloured die if it is a wooden or a single story building. Each case applies. If the building has a basement, a coloured die roll of 6 causes the vehicle to fall through to the basement and is removed, with the crew taking a crew survival check. Surviving crew are placed at ground level of the building and are subject to hazardous movement for the rest of that phase. Changing a vehicle covered arc also leads to a bog check and the possibility of causing rubble. If a vehicle causes a building to rubble, the vehicle is stunned and must do another bog check. Let's look at an example of infantry movement. If we wish to move this squad in R6 into the building hex Q7, it will cost us 2 movement factors. 2. This Panzer 4D in hex K6 wishes to move into the stone building in K7. It will cost it half its allotted movement point allowance, which is 7, in this case being half of 14. We must now make a bog check. We add +4 to our roll as this is a stone building and -1 to our coloured die roll as this is a single level building to see if we rubble the building. We roll a coloured die of 2 and a white die of 5. The vehicle has failed the bog check and is bogged in the building, but has not rubbled the building, as the adjusted coloured die roll does not equal 0 or less. If we rolled a coloured die of 1 and a white die of 5, the building is rubbled, but the vehicle is not bogged, but it's stunned and must take another bog check. Buildings whose artwork is contained within one hex and have no internal staircase, such as this stone building in K4, is a single story building and is considered a level 1 obstacle to line of sight. An internal staircase is a white square instead of a dot as per this hex in N3. A building which covers more than one hex and does not have an internal staircase is a 2-story building, like this wooden building in K2, K1, and is considered a 1.5 level obstacle to line of sight. All buildings of this type are presumed to have a staircase in each hex, so each hex of the building has 2 locations, a ground level and a first level. Movement between each level in the same hex costs 1 movement factor. Movement between hexes of the same level costs 2 movement factors. Moving straight to a different level of a different hex of the same building is not allowed. The German squad in hex 06 on the ground level wishes to move to P6 level 1. As there is a staircase in each hex of the building, we can do this 2 different ways. We can use the staircase in hex 06 to move to level 1 of hex 06 for 1 movement factor. Then move to level 1 of P6 for 2 movement factors, a total of 3 movement factors. 3. Alternatively, we could move to P6 ground level for 2 movement factors. 2. Then we can use a staircase in hex P6 to move to level 1 of P6 for 1 movement factor, for a total of 3 movement factors. 3. Any building containing a stairwell symbol is a level 3 building and has 2.5 levels to line of sight, such as a building in K4, K5, J4 and J5. All rules regarding movement are the same as a 2-level building, except movement between levels may only take place in a stairwell hex. So if we want to move this German squad to K5, level 1, we would have to use either the staircase in hex K4 or hex J5 to reach level 1. So we move to K4 for 2 movement factors, 2, then spend 1 movement factor to move to level 1 of K4. 3. Then move to K5 for 2 movement factors for a total of 5 movement factors. 5. Marking the squad with a CX as we have spent 1 movement factor more than our movement factor allowance. In some scenarios we may also have a 3-level building which is 3.5 levels to line of sight. The 3rd level may only apply to part of the building. If so, the rest of the building is only a level 2.5 line of sight. Scenarios may add a cellar to some buildings, which are at level -1. All rules apply as normal. Rooftops only exist as per scenario special rules. Rooftops are treated the same as other building hex levels, situated at the next half-level elevation. All rooftop locations are presumed to have an inherent stairwell to the level below. A unit on a rooftop does not get the building terrain effects modifier and is considered open ground. A unit can be hidden or concealed if there is no good order enemy ground unit within 16 hexes at the same or higher level. A rooftop does not increase the size of the building for line of sight purposes. No 5/8" counter except mortar of less or equal to 82 mm may be fired from a rooftop. All direct fire and ordnance to hit dice rolls against the building location except for roof location add +2 train effects modifier for wooden building and a +3 train effects modifier for a stone building. Combat within a building may only take place between units in adjacent locations of the same level, and between different levels if the hex contains a stairwell. Indirect fire is resolved simultaneously with the same dice roll against all levels of the building, with an additional +1 dice roll modifier for each level above the level being attacked. So if a 2-level building was being attacked, the ground level of a stone building would have a dice roll modifier of +4. +3 for the stone building and an additional +1 for the level above it. If an interior hex of a building is hit, only the roof and top level are affected by the hit. During the prep fire phase, the American squad in hex H3 decides to attack the German squad in hex J4 and rolls a 4-1. He adds +3 train effect modifier for the stone building to his dice roll for a final combat roll of 8, which is a pinned task check. The German squad in hex X4 level 1 can attack the Russian squad in hex X5 level 1, but neither the Russian squads in hex W4 or hex X3, as these are not adjacent locations. The German squad in hex X3 level 1 can attack the Russian squad in X3 ground level, as they are adjacent locations and there is a stairwell in the hex. The German squad in X3 level 2 cannot attack the Russian squad in X3 ground level, as they are not in adjacent locations. The German Panzer V in hex H3 fires in the prep fire phase against the British squad in hex O4. At a range of 7 hexes, he needs to roll a 7 or less. A dice roll modifier of +2 for the wooden building is added to the 2-hit roll, meaning he now needs a 5 or less. He rolls a 6 and misses. Hex 08 is hit by an American 81mm mortar firing off board. It contains 3 Italian squads, one on the ground level, one on the first level, and the third on the second level. The American player rolls a 3 on the 4 firepower column of the infantry fire table. The squad at level 2 is attacked with a final dice roll of 6. Die roll of 3 plus 3 train effects modifier for the stone building, and takes a normal morale check. The squad at level 1 is attacked with a final dice roll of 7. Dice roll 3 plus 3 train effects modifier for the stone building, and +1 for the level 2. He takes a pin task check. The squad on the ground level is attacked with a final die roll of 8. Dice roll 3 plus 3 train effects modifier for the stone building, +1 for level 2 and +1 for level 1. This equals no effect. Units may only engage in close combat if they are in adjacent locations. Weapons on 5/8 inch counters. Only mortars, anti-tank guns, infantry guns and all small target weapons may set up or be pushed into a ground level building location, and only mortars may occupy a non-ground level location. The only fortification allowed in a building are mines. Only units in good order, designated as commandos, may scale a building. Place a climbing counter pointing towards a vertex of the building hex not touched by the building depiction. Units do not need to take a falling test. They ascend or descend 1 level per turn, with the option to advance off the climb counter into the building level where they currently occupy during the advance phase. You may not enter a location where there is a blaze. A flame may be kindled in a wooden building on a dice roll of 7 or more, and can spread on a dice roll of 8 or more. A flame may be kindled in a stone building on a dice roll of 8 or more, and can be spread on a dice roll of 9 or more. Both wooden buildings and stone buildings are concealment terrain. Thank you for watching. If you found this video useful, please leave a like as it helps the channel. Bye for now.